Dead by Daylight, an asymmetrical horror game. A 4 versus 1. A game that started out as a strong, but small community. A game that rose to success through ingenious collaborations, one-of-a-kind design choices, and a game with the most relentless community I've ever seen. Dead by Daylight, one of the best games I have played. If you want a run-of-the-mill horror movie as a video game, Dead by Daylight initially was a perfect representation. Dark atmosphere, terrifying killers, a true sense of fear when you played as the survivors. As the killer, you felt like a true powerhouse. You were the predator, and they are the prey. However, this did not last long. Over the next few years, players started to learn how to take advantage of this game's quirks, making it turn into more of a game of tag and less hide-and-seek, and so the developers had to adapt. Seeing as survivors have become the powerhouse role over the killer, being able to never be caught, instantly healing, finishing a generator instantly, the killer seemed to really have gotten the short end of the stick, so the developers decided to change that. Soon after, they released the Nurse, a terrifying killer, able to go through walls, teleporting right to survivors, never letting them catch a break. In the midst of the chaos, a familiar face appeared. Michael Myers and Laurie Strode were added to Dead by Daylight, horror's most iconic killer and survivor. In Dead by Daylight, this was not only the foundation in the game's rise in popularity, but was the start to the game's most controversial designs, the perks. Laurie Strode came with a perk, Decisive Strike, letting you stun the killer for free, giving you a free escape, a second life. And the pattern of broken perks doesn't stop here. Medal of Man, Hex Undying, Hex Ruin, made for this, Ultimate Weapon, Background Player, For the People, and Buckle Up. I could go on. This game has done things that some can't even dream of, getting some of the biggest names out there to work with them. Halloween, Hellraiser, Ringu, Resident Evil, and even Dungeons & Dragons. From a small project in 2016 to a massive name in the gaming industry in 2025, this game has become one of a kind, and a kind that owns the asymmetrical horror genre. As many games have tried this, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, VHS. They all had a good start, but the hype from the games, followed by some bad design choices in some, caused them to fade into obscurity. But Dead by Daylight was always on top. Constant new character releases, always shifting meta, except for Nurse, and a simple gameplay loop that you can master many aspects of and become even better. This can be for better and for worse, as this means many things become irrelevant after some time. Some perks or characters just become forgotten. Like the Hag, a character that became power crept over the years, going from an easy A+, like, top-tier killer, to around B+ for some. Her power being very dated, as it was made for an older Dead by Daylight, one with more scares, slower gameplay. Now I'm going to go into my experience with the game. Before I got into playing, I'd occasionally heard of it, but very rarely. It never matched with anything I liked at the time. But in the fall of 2023, my friends got me to buy the game and I played it. And I might say, I hated it. It was too complex, too much information. I had no idea what was going on. There were so many characters locked behind the paywall. I just did not find it fun. So I dropped the game for about 2 months. Until I decided to try and get back into it. I mean, after all, I did still buy this game, might as well play it. So I decided that I would buy one character, and I kid you not, after looking at all the options, first choice was the Knight. Now, many people hated this killer, but I had no idea. All I knew is that I fell in love with his power, the ability to summon a guard, patrol an area, kick gens, chase players for you. As a newer player, having a second killer help you in the match was a dream come true, and I found my first main. Got to a few months or so later, I was having a blast in Dead by Daylight. The game was amazing. Finding the character that was right for you felt so vital to jumpstart the fun in this game. Unfortunately, it was around this time that the Knight ended up having a game-breaking bug, letting us summon all 3 of his guards at once, and ended up getting him kill-switched. No longer could you play as him until they reverted it. Most of the time these kill switches last for about a week, so I could play them again in a week, right? Fast forward to 2.5 months later, they released a patch, finally re-enabling the knight. But during that time with the kill switch, I experimented with other characters. It's been a lot of fun playing them, although it was not the same as the knight. Hillbilly with his chainsaw being able to instantly down a survivor and fly across the map, not literally but figuratively. Dredge with his ability to teleport back to a spot he puts down, or teleport across the map to any locker, and putting survivors into total darkness. On a cooldown. And the Mastermind, with his ability to dash forward twice, being able to grab a survivor and slam them into a wall or another survivor, injuring them, infecting them, applying a slowdown. So many characters, so much variety. This game makes itself hard to become boring. The point I'm trying to make with this is that the game is so creative, so unique, so fun, so testing. This game somehow finds a way to be so anti-beginner friendly, so much trial and error, so much testing. And yet, somehow, it is the most fun game I've ever played.